Well, we're gullible, we're rebuilding, and there's 3 games to go. This is the Sash, definitely not the official podcast of the Essendon Football Club. I am your host, Rob, here with you on Monday for the review show. Gee, it's nice to see a bit of sun out there at the moment, but sadly there's still a few more weeks of this season still to come. We're fighting through it, and joining me in Backchat Studios is Ryan. Hello, mate.
G'day, Rob. How's things going today?
Busy. Got to about an hour before this show, and I was like, oh, gee, I better start preparing some stuff. It feels like the game was an eternity ago. It's probably the Friday night game. It rolls around to a Monday. I'm like, what happened on the weekend?
It's a bit of a blur, isn't it, the Friday night games? It's even worse when it's those Thursday nights and you get to the next week and you go, I feel like we haven't played in weeks. But no, look, I mean, as 44-point losses go, though, that was okay.
As far as 44-point losses goes, it was on the better end of 44-point losses, I must say.
Shocking to go back into work after a 44-point loss and they go, oh, geez, you guys didn't have a bad... I was like, no, we were okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
And also joining us on the couch is James. Hello, mate.
Rob, good to see you. Ryan, good to see you as well. Thought it was going to be a lot worse. I think that was the consensus. Saying you guys off air that there's plenty of talk around Jazza kicking more goals than us as a team, and old Liam McMahon stepped up and matched him with 4. So yeah, look, you never want to celebrate losses, but I was at the G early this year and we got done by 95 points by the Cats, and that was with a much stronger team than what we put out on the weekend. So yeah, they had a crack, and that's all we can really ask as we crawl towards the finish line.
Yeah, it doesn't take skill to bring effort.
Mm-hmm.
And there were definitely some patches in that game on Friday night where a lot of players, probably lesser names, I would say, were bringing a lot of effort and a lot of pressure. And yeah, there was a passage in the game there. I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah. That
third quarter, I was like, here we go. This is something, to get excited about. I think I actually stood up off the couch at one point and cheering a goal by myself. Might have been 3/4 of the way through a bottle of red at that point, but that's by the by. That doesn't take skill to bring effort and bring intensity. And that's, at this point where Essendon is at right now, that's all we can ask for, sadly.
I reckon if I was in the review of the Essendon game, if I was the coaches, the core thing I'd say is, look, there were issues in quarters 1, 2 and 4, but I would be watching that third one and say, let's bottle that sort of energy and bottle that sort of the pressure the guys were putting on. It did seem to catch Geelong by surprise after half-time, and there was a point in time where I think we'd kicked 5 of 6 goals, and sure, the margin was still out by a fair bit, but we just looked good. We looked good in our forward 50, and that was one thing that was really quite striking, that we looked strong in a defensive sense in our forward line. But and then it went back to classic old Essendon. But otherwise, it was it was promising.
Yeah, it was promising. Definitely promising. Where do you guys want to begin? Should we talk about the game? Should we talk about David King and Jay Clark?
Right.
Should we just end the pod and go home? That's an option.
I drove too far for this. Let's keep going.
Yeah, this is my night off.
No, let's talk about gullible.
Gullible. Are we gullible?
Talk about gullible.
I mean, let's give some context. Assuming you're not across the last 24 hours of media. Look, I didn't watch First Crack. I don't really watch it much anymore, but Jay Clark was talking about Essendon. I believe he said he thinks Sam Draper would be the next captain, which is the first red flag. And then David King said that Essendon supporters who are willing to be patient are gullible. Now, I know he said that on SEN this morning, so I listened to a clip of it that someone shared in the Discord. And I guess that's the question, is that if we're happy to be patient and sit through this year, are we gullible? Are we realistic? Is David King just a hatchet man who hates Brad Scott? That's the question.
He definitely hates Brad Scott.
Yes.
I reckon that's the first point. But I just kind of think it's like, dude, what else do you want us to do? Like, the team fucking shit. We got injuries.
Well, we're done here, boys. We've summed it up neatly. There we go.
We got injuries coming out our arse. I mean, what really can we do? We've got to try and find the positives, and 14 debutants, and most of them have shown something. I mean, James, really, what else should we do?
I think we show David King a clip of Mert and then ask him if Essendon fans are still gullible.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I know we try and give a bit of a positive spin on here, but I think we're pretty honest on here as well. And I don't think you see many Essendon supporters running around telling everyone how good we're going or how great things are because they're simply not. Now, whether you put that down to coaching, players, injuries, or all of the above, whatever it may be, that'll be different person to person. But yeah, I just don't think gullible's the right phrase to be slapping on us. And talk about kicking us whilst we're down as well. We're at the bare bones of our list. There's more injuries to talk about out of the game. Like you said, I don't know what more we can do right at the finish line when really everyone's probably just hoping we get to the end of the year.
Gullible is such a weird word to use, and from David King, it's like, dude, your club shouldn't exist. Just relax.
Yeah. I mean, do you know that gullible's not in the dictionary? I'm a father. I'm allowed to say this. I'm allowed to say this.
There was a long setup for that joke.
Yeah, and the eyes. You could see in his eyes there was like a glisten there. It was so. It was joy.
I've got a dad boner right now.
Yeah,
it is an interesting choice of words. I don't want to give it away too much, but something that I've put together will be published sometime in the next week or so. And this, I'd written this thing previously to this comment, and I felt like I had to address it because it is a weird word, and like I feel like we are just as Essendon supporters, we're caught in this position where it's like most of us go, okay, this clearly needs a lot of work and a lot of time to sort this out, but we're also incredibly impatient because we've had nothing. We're starving. Just like, please give us something to cheer about. So, yeah, it's hard. And again, I feel like this is a bit of a throwaway comment from someone who doesn't like our coach, doesn't like our club, probably is, tired, hanging out for finals for the season to end, so he goes on holidays for the back half of the season. Works very, very hard over the footy season he does, and just probably hasn't really taken the time to think about what's actually going on. Yeah. Because there's a lot that's played out at Essendon over the last couple of years, not much of it actually on the field. It's all been very much an off-field driven change. Now that's done. We've done that part. Yeah. Now let's actually get this part right. But we can't just walk in and go, all right, hit targets and kick goals. Job done. Yeah. Like, that's not how footy works.
No, and you can even see now, this year, Sean Murphy has, will depart. Yeah. So that says to me that we're going to have not just him, but I suspect there'll be an overhaul in the fitness department. So that's another big thing, as much as it seems small, I think that's a big change to probably, overhaul the entire department. The idea that we're going to have guys going to Qatar and the USA, the money that's going to be put into it, we're still trying to make... Well, the club seems to be trying to fix flaws that felt like they were built into the Sash for a long, long time. And, and you can still tell there's guys just lurking around, waiting for the board to crack, and these just sort of, nefarious little characters that are just lurking around. But it just takes time, and I think, no fan base appreciates the little wins like the Essendon supporters. So I don't know, it was a strange attack, and I kind of feel like he was just trying to fill the minutes. Yeah,
and if you actually go back and watch that segment, which I did just before I came in, Jay-Z Clark feels like he's never ever going to stop talking, and if you actually just watch David King, you see his eyes sort of start wandering around, and then I feel like he just kind of slapped something in there because he felt like he needed to say something. So it sort of felt like a weird thing that didn't make sense, and maybe it was because maybe he sort of tuned out. But if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Because
word of the day, toilet paper. Maybe Gullible was there, and he was like that.
Yeah. And to your point as well, I said this at the start of the year in our season previews. I think while Scott's been in the club for a number of years now, to me it felt like this was the first kind of year where he was kind of able to pull the strings himself. Even the end of last year, Dodoro was still hanging around, and it was pretty rough to even get him out of the club and all the drama that happened with that. So I feel like this was kind of the first year that Scott had a run at it, and things were looking relatively promising early. And then obviously the injuries have decimated us, and then it's hard to kind of get a read on whether the injuries played their part or whether there's more to it. But to me, it felt like this was the first proper year that Scott had a run at it, and the injuries kind of took away the, I guess, overall analysis of that, and it's hard to get a read on it now.
Yeah, like year one of any coach is a free hit. It's a free hit because you come in and go, okay, I'm here to actually learn about the list, about the environment, about the culture, all of this sort of stuff. Year two is when you can start really sort of questioning and being like, oh, is this right? Is this right? And then the fact that the board signed him so early on in the season was then basically going, well, there's clearly a lot more that has to be done here. Standards, quality of talent, all of those sort of things have to be changed. It's... I don't know. I can't wait for this.
But is the opposite of what he's saying for us to be calling for Scott's head now and more change? Is that the opposite to what he's suggesting?
Yeah, I think he's calling for us to go to the petrol station, buy some kerosene and burn the hanger to the ground. I think is what David King is saying.
He'd be first in line.
David, let's go.
The funny thing is, I definitely have oscillated this year in my opinions of Brad Scott, because I would say
good word.
Thank you. Word of the day, toilet paper. Overall, I find myself kind of frustrated with his sort of lack of initiative during the game to make changes, particularly with such a young list to kind of try things. I think he's made some positional changes almost out of necessity. So I'm kind of loath to kind of give him a star for that. But overall, I feel like he's been brought in because he is good with players. He's a good builder of a team. I think you saw that at North, considering the sort of how limited that club has been in his time there. He did get them far. My question, without wanting to you two, is do you see him as the builder of the list, and then we say thanks, and then we bring in almost a finisher, someone who can maybe get us to the finals, win a final, get us deep?
Yeah. So is Brad Scott the fluffer?
He is the fluffer.
Is that what you're saying?
It's so true.
Yeah.
So is he our fluffer, and do we need someone to get us over the line?
Maybe. I mean, what is it? 4 more years on his deal? 3 more years? 3, 4?
Surely just 3.
3? I think it was 3. Anyway, I didn't.
It's 6 years all up in the end, isn't it?
Yeah, so it must be 3. Possibly. Like, I think one of the key reasons he did get selected was that because he had his one obviously he'd been in North for a long time, but then because he had that stint in the AFL, he had basically spent time at every single club and was able to go, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. And he walked into Essendon and went, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit, that's shit. Gotta go. None of this is up to standard, Like players like, in their own personal off season aren't actually doing any preparation. They need to be putting in time and effort and all these things, and again that's what it's about. But like I'm still jury's out on whether he is the tactical man to get the job done for the premiership. But the sad reality is that we probably do need to have this time to get those standards, get those practices back to where they need to be. Now potentially this is a thing where he can still be the masthead of all this, and then there might be someone else who comes in down the line who may be an assistant coach, for instance, who may have that ability to go, okay, this is how this game plan is going to run, and Brad's just there to do it. In the same way that, like, I'm trying to think of some of the other sort of, coaches, like Uze under Goodwin, for example.
Goodwin under Ruse.
Goodwin under Ruse, like stuff like that, where it's like, okay, this person may be pulling some of the tactical strings right now, but this person's there to set the culture, set the brand, make sure everyone's doing the right job, force the point, but this is the guy who's going to have the X's and O's going, blah, blah, blah. Now that like, I don't sit in the fucking coaches' rooms. I don't know who drives those conversations. But that's a possibility. Should we talk about Sam Draper being the next captain of Essendon?
Well, James,
it's laughable.
You thought this was a great idea.
Yeah, you were talking about this on the way.
Well, if you go back and watch it, it's probably the one thing that is closest to the mark with what Jay-Z says, and that's fucking saying something. And again, like I mentioned, you watch Joey Montagna and Kingy, and they're kind of fucking looking around going, what is this bloke talking about? Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say because it's so ridiculous. Anyone that watches AFL would know that he's not going to be the next captain.
I can reel off 10 players unprompted who would be in front of him as the captain. Not even a question.
I'd just love to see Jay Clark on the street and just go, look, just want to ask, the fuck did you pull that from?
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
It's a real, like...
Not to mention he's leaving.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't realise what you had until it's gone, but... Fuck, I miss Mark Robinson.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
But at least, under all the, under all of that, at least there was a thought-provoking discussion about football and some ideas that were coming along the way, instead of just oh, this guy's re-signed, oh, he's getting traded, oh, he's getting a suspension. It's so boring now.
Yeah.
Fox Footy's non-game time. I don't watch any of it anymore.
No nicknames.
It's just dry.
No nicknames.
No nicknames.
David.
No
David.
nicknames. They've stopped that though. They stopped it after a week and a half.
Really?
Well, apparently.
Yes, Robert.
Apparently, because apparently the WA call was a mess because there was two people in the box called Adam. There was Adam Simpson and Adam Papalia. And Matthew Pavlich would be like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I agree with you, Adam. And they'd be like, who's talking? Who's talking?
What is again, it's of all the things that you could complain about in commentary in 2025, their nicknames aren't the problem.
Well, I think it's because the new owners of Fox... someone I think it was a sort of foreign executive,
Pretty high up,
like a French executive or someone like that was like, oh, it's unprofessional. You should be using their proper names.
Right.
And it's this is Australia.
Yeah.
This is
The
Australia.
Australian
dickhead.
sporting
This
market,
is Australia, champ. Okay.
Chocolate bread and a cigarette is unprofessional for breakfast.
Yeah.
Relax, French.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, back to the game, fellas. We've had a good rant about the sporting media, which is a nice change from talking about the actual game itself. Let's talk some goods, because there's a few fellas in there who put in a good shift, who did some notable things, and I reckon we start with SmackDown versus Raw himself, Liam Vince McMahon, because he's clearly done enough, I think, to earn himself another year. I guess maybe here's the question for you boys, because we are now in a position where we will have a plethora of key forward stocks. We'll have Wright, we'll have Caddy, we'll have him, we'll have May. There's Langford, there's Jones, there's Edwards. Who else is a key forward? There's probably a few more that I'm forgetting. Basically, there's a heap of key forwards. What do we do?
I'll tell you something right now. The first thing I thought when I was watching him was, this is Kyle 2.0, but he has something that I really get excited about before I try and figure out what we're going to do with our forward line. Do you know what I love that Liam McMahon does? Leads at the ball. It just sounds like a simple thing, but the guy leads at the ball. He has great separation from his defender, and he actually meets the ball. You see, some of the paths that he made towards the forward 50 was just sexy. It was just so good, and that's kind of when I think about it, I go, well, he's probably playing the role that Kyle was playing 2 years ago when he was healthy. And the first thing, and it's it's so easy to kind of, that recency bias kicks in pretty quickly, but I would rather play Liam in the form that he's in over what Kyle could potentially bring, because that's his spot. And you just said Harry Jones, and I completely forgot he was on our list. So I really don't know what we're going to do. It makes me wonder whether there's going to be some moves in the off-season to see if there is a market for potentially a Langford or a Jones, or some of these guys that you would suggest are on the periphery. I mean, a lot of people aren't fans of Peter Wright, but he is such great insurance because you know that when he comes in, he at least fills some space. And I know that's a low bar, but I think we're in a lot of trouble because we've got so many great options. What do you think, James?
Yeah, and Edwards, another one to add
to
the list there as well, just to make it even more difficult. But my first stop point, leads at the ball carrier. How refreshing it is to see a bloke just lead up and demand the footy, and make things a bit easier for the midfielders as well. I know our skills by foot often frustrating us this year, but he makes it a little bit easier when he's leading up and demanding it straight in front. He seemed quite crafty as well. Like, he does find space and gets that separation.
Smart.
Just a really smart player, and for a guy that hasn't played at the highest level for very long at all, it looks like he's sort of found the pace, and maybe that comes with a bit more time in the VFL. And the other thing he does, which I don't think any footy fan takes for granted, is he makes the most of his opportunities. He looks really calm and composed in front of goal and kicks the ball beautifully. And that's something that I think we can all get used to, because there's nothing more frustrating than blokes spraying the ball left and right when they're in front of goal. So he's taken his opportunity. But yeah, it's a bit of a logjam when everyone's fit, if that ever happens. But, you know, if you've got the two options now between playing Langford, who, you know, he could be part of a bit of a trade / cull at the end of the year anyway. If you're tossing up between those two, you put the time into McMahon with where we're at, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Langford's just the injury troubles, and basically seems if anytime he steps out of the forward 50, he gets injured. Like there's obviously an argument. Oh, can you play some of those guys up the ground? Obviously Jones and stuff playing the wing, but it's just like.
But right now, I wouldn't want to touch the wings.
I'd rather not. I don't mean. I guess the interesting thing for McMahon for me is like I'd be interested to see how he goes. You know, again, assuming he plays next year and even the year after, like actually having a bit of time in like an AFL system, like gym wise, because you look at like, you know, the key forwards who've actually been in the AFL since they've made 18, they're massive. But then you get these guys who are playing VFL who probably go to the gym twice a week, play twice a week, and that's kind of it. And just the difference in like the sizes compared to them, it's like, oh, can this guy fill out and become a bit more of a sort of threat? Like he's clearly got the smarts and the craft inside forward 50. And yeah, like if there's just a great full forward option, because you don't need to do anything else. Like if you're good enough to play that role and you're the best at playing that role on the side, then great. Is he better than Langford when he's fully fit? I mean, look, Langford's kicked 50 goals in a season before. Yep. I don't think we can forget that. But, you know, he's got his own issues with, you know, body, and obviously we don't know if he wants to stick around or not. We'll see, but...
It's so interesting with the age demographic too, because McMahon, he's at what, about 23. So, you know, he's really that exact age I think that the club is looking for at the moment, fitting in with the Durhams and the Caldwells and the Caddies, and that sort of feels like we're building a kind of a group around that 24 to 18 mark. Kyle's now 28 now, so he's going to be
VFL on the weekend.
Yeah, he looked rapt to be there too. But you know, he's going to be 29 next year.
Jake Kelly in the VFL, not happy.
But I just think it's one of those things. I think despite his injury, I could see clubs out there looking at Kyle Langford and thinking, he might be a piece to a puzzle. You know, you don't want to say the word, but a Hawthorn might look at him and go, oh, he's actually a good size, but I think they've got enough height at the moment. But I think, you know, Dogs or even an interstate team, I could see it. So
St Kilda?
Oh, St Kilda would take anything. Come on, it's like really.
From the reports I saw today, they're going to have a few spots to fill as well if they can't sort this Wanganeen Malira out, because they said Wilkie wants to explore his options. Jack Steele wants to leave.
Well, I'll take Wilkie.
Yeah, well, I think that might be the...
Wilkie for Shield?
No, I think he'll be involved in the Naz trade. But
oh, God, yeah, that'll be big.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Did you see the post-game of Len McMahon talking about Richo?
So cute.
Oh, he's like, yeah, you were my favourite player. I love you, Richo. So good.
It's just adorable.
So good. Love
so
that.
Cool.
Yep. Speaking of adorable, fucking Jaden Nguyen's got a bit of dog in him.
I love
Dan segue. Dan love that.
What an intro.
He's my guy.
Yeah, he's sick.
He's awesome. He goes hard at the footy and just good little small lockdown defender.
Yeah.
Great. Very happy.
Yeah. It's just like Lowell came in like that when he first rocked in. He tackled you. You're feeling it. Jaden just looks rapt to be out there, and he's got some speed. And what I love about it, he just tries his guts out, and 5 disposals and 7 tackles. That's a pretty good return. And Stengel didn't get much out of himself, so happy days.
No goals for Stengel, 1 goal for Papley last week. So he's come in, done his job both
and he wasn't
times.
on Papley at the time.
Yeah, well, there you go. And I've spoken at length about I just want role players in this side. We need blokes who just come in and do their job. And so far he has, so he can't ask for much more. And yeah, he has a red hot crack, and that's all you really need from your back pocket.
Yep. I'll save a couple of goods for the votes because we'll talk about them then. But an interesting thing from the game, and it's funny because it was something Joel's been speaking about, knowing that we've got so many dead rubbers, and what can we get out of them? And the one thing he spoke about was that he would like to see Isaac Kako playing some time in the guts, and we got to see a lot of that. So the bulk midfield minutes from the midfielders was shared between Merritt, McGrath, Kako, and Durham, with small hit-outs from Shield and Gresham. I mean, when he's got the footy and he's running towards goal, just seems like he just knows how to put it in a good spot. Clearly there were times in some of those centre bounces where he got a little bit lost, but I think the thing that impresses me so much about him is that he's very durable for a young player. Like, he hasn't missed a game. Like, I say this now, he's probably going to have done a hammy in the time to finish the conversation. But
Rip two
when's the
glutes.
captain's run?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Isaac Kako's good. Oh, you can hear it pinging. Fuck. Oh, no. We've got one here. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's nice to know, and I think that has been the joy of this year, being able to look at certain guys and go, cool, we found one. Liam McMahon found one. Kako definitely found one, and again, having him around the middle has been great, because obviously earlier on in the season he did look like he was struggling to find the ball because it never came down the forward line. It's just been, he's been definitely one of the highlights, and really excited to see what he looks like in a team that has more fit players.
I think they sort of bought their time with that as well. Like, plenty of people were kind of calling for this pretty early on in the season, but I like that the coaches were patient with him, didn't kind of throw him to the wolves in there, let him kind of learn his craft in the forward line, and now the last few weeks give him a bit of a license to go in there, and got to remember this is this kid's first year.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's easy when you're pretty depleted, and we put a lot of expectation on the likes of Caddy and Kako, but they've let him develop, and I like what I saw on the weekend. I know he did get lost a few times, but can certainly see him playing that role moving forward, and he's only going to get fitter and stronger, so excited to see what he can do.
Do you guys want to play a quick game that I've just come up with?
Fuck love games. I love it.
Okay, because I'm looking at the centre bounce attendance data for the season. So, okay, there are 4 players on the list who have been in the centre bounce for only one game for the season, either as ruck or as a midfielder. Can you name the 4 players?
Just
one of them.
One game they had one centre bounce.
No, as in only in one game did they go into a centre bounce. 2 of those players only actually attended one centre bounce for the game. Can you guess who they were?
I reckon the first one's Nate Caddy when we had no ruckman.
Incorrect. You're getting you're close for one of them though. You got the right idea.
Same line of thought. Was Zach Reid in there?
Zach Reid. So Zach Reid attended 4. That was in round 6 against the Eagles.
Because the bloke really needed that with his fucking body, didn't he? Just get in there.
I'm going to continue down that path. Lachlan Blackiston.
Blackiston has been in 3 games. 29. He's done 16 across 3 matches.
Jesus, okay.
So a few for my man. Still no badges, by the way. Just putting it out. There's still no badges.
Have you contacted the club yet?
Well, one of our sleuths on the Discord pointed out that there's an Oscar Smart badge pre-order available on their website. I'm like,
they're teasing you now.
Hold on. If we've got one mid-season draftee, now I know he played in the VFL system, but surely my man, Lockie Blackiston, there's going to be a badge there for me. So.
I know there's a guaranteed purchase on this.
Yeah, I'm also want to get a Jaden UN as well. Couldn't find one of those there, so that needs to happen. Back to the game.
Who does Oscar have photos of? I swear to God.
Back to the game. So one of these players attended 9 in one game. I'll make this very interesting. 2 of these players. They did this in round 1. They attended centre bounces.
Oh, Redmond.
Redmond was 1. He attended 9. The other one was in round 5 against the D's, and they attended 1. The other person was round 1. They attended 1 each.
The D's was gather round?
One of them is fit and playing right now. One of them is on the long-term injury
That
list.
doesn't help.
Well, I've just narrowed.
Narrowed it down to 18
by
guys.
half. Funnily enough, they both play in the same position.
This is why I don't go to trivia. I'm really shit at this.
Just name some players. It's fine.
Shit. Angus Clark.
No.
Fuck.
More senior than that.
This is such good podcasting.
Yeah.
Did they put Roberts in there?
No. No Roberts. One of them is I'd say like 190-ish player. The other one, I'll say they're both wingers.
Oh, so Sardo Hawley?
No.
Xavier Dersma.
Dersma attended one centre bounce in round one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clearly didn't impress.
Clearly didn't do any much. Then this person attended one, which was in round 5 at Gather Round. They sometimes play on the wing. If their ankle's not pointing backwards.
I was thinking it couldn't be Jones.
Harrison Jones. There you go.
God.
Oh, my God.
Fun game, everyone.
I'd love to go back and see how Harry Jones went at the centre bounce.
I keep forgetting he plays for us.
Kako is, of course, the other person who's only done it in one game so far, but he attended 20, unlike them. I guess a question for you guys, after I've just derailed the podcast with that stupid game.
I just can't imagine how many people were listening and just absolutely screaming.
Yeah. It's always easier when you're not in the chair, I feel like.
Dude, I'm stressed.
Yeah. It's like watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and you're sitting there, what the fuck are you doing? I can guarantee if you're in that seat, your brain would just stop
Got
working.
a pack of twisties, go, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. It's like, what colour is the sky? And they're like, I don't know. So, we're obviously running very thin on mids. Ben Hobbs did not attend a centre bounce over the weekend. Now, he may this weekend because Zach Merritt is not playing. And there's a potential that Dylan Chill is also not playing. But do you think that this is a sign that Ben Hobbs is gone?
Yeah. When it's this lean and you still can't get into your preferred position, it's a really bad sign no matter what. And I'm sure the club would come out and say, we just wanted to try X, Y, and Z. Their use of him and when Sardis was available, it really just spoke volumes to their, what seems to be, and I could be completely wrong, their lack of valuing them. In the sense that they go, it could be even as much as, they're not going to be here next year, so I don't want to put the time to put them into these positions. I'd rather put Kako in, and I'd rather try something with our guys that were going to be around. So I definitely think it's a bad sign, and I wouldn't be shocked if he was playing for North Ballarat next year.
Yeah. But Hobbs is going to, if both those guys are out, he's going to have to play midfield time because who else is there who can come into this team? Like Sardo Hawley, Archer Day Wicks, Oscar Smart, Reece Unwin, ADJ, I don't know if he's even fit.
You got to
Santini, not a midfielder. That's it.
Unwin looks almost like a lock.
Like he's going to have to play midfield minutes. He's going to have to
Could you imagine if he doesn't?
That'd be crazy. I mean, look, I hope he does and plays well. I hope he changes the narrative and they go, oh, really? Maybe he can. Or we get the answer. We know, this other one where he goes, okay, he can't.
Yeah,
and we move him on. So, you'll get, at least you'll know. Like, if he has to go in there and play, most of his game, then we're going to get a pretty clear answer if he's up to it or not. Because St Kilda aren't exactly crash hot.
Question for you both on Hobbs: if he left at the end of this year and went to another club, would you be worried that we never really saw him get a crack at playing on ball, or do you think we've seen enough of him to kind of make a call? Because obviously there's been plenty of talk and, don't want to go back to Jay Clark's point, but one of the things he was talking about was that Draper will just be the next on the list of players that have left and then become successful. And obviously Pat Voss has been the one that's been talked about most recently. The one thing that frustrated us all with Pat Voss is we never gave him an opportunity towards the end of the year when we could have played him. And we played Sam Wiedemann instead, a guy that we already had kind of seen hit his ceiling and we knew what he was about. So we sort of let a guy go that we never saw, and now we're seeing him flourish. Would you feel the same about Hobbs? If he was to go to a club, play on ball every week, would you have the fear that he's going to turn into a really good AFL player?
Ask me the same question in a week's time. Because if I actually get to, we've seen him in practice matches and he looked okay.
But do you think now that we have seen him, so you're saying you don't reckon you've seen him on ball for long enough? Because I think this whole year, has he really had a crack full time on ball?
No, and again, it kind of speaks to the club's lack of faith in him to actually be able to fulfill that role.
He's had patches, but it's always been like he's like the one who does the lowest sort of time there. But
has he really flourished in any position? Is my question.
This is a thing. Joel and I were talking about like him and Perkins and stuff, and which one's worth holding on to. And like, I'm like, at least I've seen Perkins had a best on ground game. Hobbs has never done that. Now, you can have best on ground games in any position, I believe. If you're good enough, you can do it. He's never done that. So I don't think I would be worried if he left.
I think he's tenacious, and I think he
So
tries.
Winnie Brownlow, another club.
I think, again, it's one of those things. It also depends on what system he goes into. If he goes to North, then, there's no hope in hell. But, if he found himself at, the Bulldogs or something like that, he'd never get into the team. But if he did, he'd just be a bit player. But no, I think he's tenacious. I think he tries. But overall, I think we've seen enough to know there's not enough there.
Yep.
And I think he's just another parting gift from Dodoro.
Who's going to take him? West Coast?
Oh,
maybe
he'll catch up with Pat Voss over in Freo.
Yeah, I mean they don't need him. Let's do some votes, gents. It is Sash Fan Player of the Year award, brought to you by Waxit Car Care. Find the best car care products at waxit.com.au. Use the link in the episode description and get 10% off. All right, Sash Fan Player of the Year award votes with one vote voted by the fans. Jaden Laverty got one vote, which I was a little bit surprised by, but. Had a crack, old Lav.
Yeah, his mum votes a lot.
His mum votes a lot. I was a bit surprised with that one. There you go. 2 votes, Andrew McGrath got 2 votes. Featured in a lot of people's votes there. With 3 votes, the skipper, Zachy Merritt. With 4 votes, Big Vince, Liam McMahon. And 5 votes, we'll have a proper chat about him now, but Mr. Archie Roberts. Looking good. Probably won't win the Rising Star, but it was nice to see some plaudits from the pundits about how much of a good year he's had, despite being in such an average side. Good kid.
He is
like him a lot.
He is a good kid. I think he's a product of the Hampton Rovers down there in the southeast. He has everything you want, not only in a footballer, but as a future leader too. At such a young age, I remember when we went to the Sydney game, which seems like an eons ago, at Marvel, it was around 8 or something like that, but you could see him directing traffic and positioning guys, and I thought it was quite striking to see. And so he clearly doesn't have many issues with letting his voice be heard in that back line, particularly considering it's quite a senior back line even at that stage when we didn't have that many injuries. He's pretty solid. He has a few poor kicks from time to time, like everyone does, but overall he shows all the signs of one of those gems, like one of those late gems. We picked him up pick 54. I've written a blog for this week focusing on him because he's one of those ones that I think is going to be one of those, how did he drop so far? And particularly I was looking at the guys around him. There's a lot of names there that haven't either played games at all or have left kind of left their clubs a little bit underwhelmed. But
pick 54.
Pick 54. We picked up, prior to him, we picked up Lamont Loire and Nate Caddy. So it's not like we had a lot of picks that year, and I'd say we pretty much did pretty well out of that one. So, no, Archie Roberts, can't ask for more.
Do you know there was an Archie Roberts who played for Essendon in 1932, 1936, and then he died in World War II?
Well, I do now.
Yeah. I literally typed Archie Roberts into Google, and then I clicked on it, and I'm like, this doesn't look like Archie Roberts. Why is this photo in black and white? What's going on here? How about that? He was a prisoner of war, and then he died.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget Archie Roberts.
So reincarnated Archie's finally getting his crack.
Yeah, that's it. That's why he's got the digger's spirit in him,
Archie Roberts is a 1930s name, though, isn't it?
Well, the former is actually Archibald.
Fantastic.
Archibald Roberts. Not enough Archibalds getting around these days.
I think all Archies should be Archibald or Archer, whatever, but not
Archer.
Just Archie, though. Let's not start with the nickname.
Okay, Fox Footy.
Fox Footy don't like it.
Yeah.
Imagine if they said that to me.
Archibald Roberts has the ball. Yeah. The Matt Hill voice works for that, I think. Yeah. Good stuff, fellas. Should we take a break? Let's take a break. We'll be back after this. This halftime break is brought to you by the Ticket Merchant for the 2025 AFL season. Whether you're looking for tickets to Essendon games, you want to go to a concert, a comedy show, maybe another sporting event, maybe the finals are coming up, who knows what you can get. Ticket Merchant has got you covered. Head to theticketmerchant.com.au to explore their massive range of tickets. Back after this.
Thanks, Rob. It's that time of the week where we get some totally rational and well-adjusted opinions onto the pod. On the Sash, it's Hot Takes.
Hot Takes.
While we're off air, Dan said Archibald Roberts was a prisoner of war and Archie Roberts is a prisoner of Essendon. Thank you, Dan. That was good for you.
Masterpiece.
Yep, Dan on the ones and twos over there. Hot takes, everyone. Thanks to the people who sent them through. Just a few this week, but there's some good ones in here. Good to see the spirit living on in the hot takes. So we'll start with Braden from Seymour. Thank you, Braden.
Right. Forget the game. The game was shit. We fucking lost. We didn't get fucking pumped, but we lost anyway. But who cares? Because I've done the maths. According to ChatGPT, you can get 1 square metre of bubble wrap from Officeworks for $2.77, which means that if every Essendon member donates just $1, we can get approximately 30,000 square metres of bubble wrap, which should be enough to cover every ligament, every tendon, every joint, and every muscle of Archie Roberts. And just wrap him up and just put him in the corner of the hangar and say, you fucking sit there until 2026 when we can let you out. And any leftover bubble wrap we have, we grab Liam McMahon and we put him in there. And we grab fucking Archer May and we put him in there. And we fucking grab fucking Blackiston and put him in there. And we just don't fuck them up at the end of this year to ruin their 2026 season. We just leave them there nice and neat, ready to go. Because fuck, if we injure them, fuck. Go Plains.
Braden's up and about there. Do you know what my favourite part of that whole thing was? Was when he says, I've done the maths, and then he said ChatGPT said this. I'm sorry to break it to you, Braden, but you didn't do the maths. ChatGPT did the maths, but I like that. That was very, very good.
But he opened up the app. That's the important thing.
He opened up the app. That's what we want to say. That's what we want to say. From Seymour to Scotland with Rory.
I've decided, fuck your Hobbs and your Greshams and your Menzies and all these fucking dicks. Just keep all the mid-season recruits. They're all shit hot. Liam McMahon, he could genuinely score 40, 50 goals over a full season with decent service. And Lockie Blackiston, every time that ball's up in the air, he's there fighting for it, plucking it out, intercepting, spoiling. Don't know if he's even a ruck or a defender, just give him a free roll in the back half just to go about like Tom Stewart does and fuck shit up. He's a really interesting find, and I can't wait to see him play in the team when he's got decent people around him. He's a really interesting player. So yeah, fuck the old guard, keep all the new people, and the draftees will be sorted.
There we go. I mean, we've been saying for a long time that we should just only draft mid-season because it seems to be when we do our best work. We could form a pretty good team. We'd have Blackiston, Durham. I include Nick Martin in there, even though he's a supplementary, but I just include Nick Martin in that. McMahon, Archer May, Smart. I guess we can have Tom Edwards as well if we include him as another supplementary. So that's our team.
And we can bring Snelling back.
The slug, get him back in there. That's good. From Scotland to Bangkok. Here's John.
Now, I went on a little bit of a rant last week, and I just want to back what I was saying with one or two things. If it's a little bit noisy, I'm currently sitting at a street food stall in Bangkok drinking a singer, and there's a fair bit going on. But Andrew McGrath, there's about 5 minutes gone in the third quarter, and Andrew McGrath, here comes my meal. Golden crap. Andrew McGrath takes a mark about 70 metres out from our goal off a Geelong turnover, plays on immediately, which is the right call. We've just kicked 4 goals in a row, and kicks it straight to a fucking Geelong player. It would have been 5 in a row. We had the momentum, exactly what I was saying last week. We've got some senior players to make the wrong decision when we have momentum or when we have an inkling of maybe turning things in our way, and that fucking deflates us. What they do counts 5 times as much as anyone else. And he did some good things during the game, as did Dylan Shield this week. But still, when the moments are there to be won, our leaders cannot do it.
How many singers had Joel had prior to that, James?
What's the line at? Over under 9.5?
Yeah, I'd say about that. Yeah.
Over.
I loved that when he was, oh, my meal's here.
Yeah, my meals, yeah. I think this is this is the thing though about Andrew McGrath, because he's done some good things in the midfield, and I think a lot of people have been like, oh, that was why he used to be there. Oh, maybe we should bring him back. But I think the reason that he is better suited to the back line, and I do believe that's where he plays his best footy, is that because that bursting out of a stoppage, running full pelt towards the forward line and hitting a target, he doesn't have that ability. He just doesn't have that in his locker. When it's in the back line and it's, pressure's on and you're sort of weaving and just trying to get it to someone else and then get it out, he's a bit more suited to that. His work in traffic is so good. That's the best part of his game. That's why he was the number 1 pick. He's agile. He can win the footy. It's all that stuff. But that kick that good midfielders have, he doesn't have that. Yep. And that's why I don't think he'll ever be a midfielder. And he's playing there now, and that's fine. But I don't see it being a long-term thing.
I was saying it before the pod. It's just give it. If he's got it by hand, he looks really good. Just don't let him kick it.
Yeah. This one is a bit of love for Liam McMahon.
Alrighty, just got a bit of a poem here about Liam McMahon. And I think he's going to be a star like Imran Khan. He wears 48, kicks very straight, and he's originally from Eltham, and he's now one of my favourites, like Sammy Durham. Shit, I don't think that rhymes. Well done, Liam McMahon. Great game tonight. 4 goals, great effort. Hope he stays on the list. Go Dons.
Well, I can certainly say that ChatGPT wasn't involved in that one. That was all original.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Eltham with Durham.
Yes.
Durham. I love just the pause as well with Sam.
Fuck.
Durham.
All right. This next one is Eli with a song about Lockie Blackiston.
Hi, my name is Eli, and this is my song about Blackiston. Watch out, Blackiston, chasing you down with a hot footy. Gone, holding the ball. They're gone. Blackiston, running without any care. 1, 2, 3 bounces and kicks the goal.
That's the greatest song I've ever heard in my life.
If we can put a beat to that, we should be putting that
Rob,
on Spotify.
You could pull some strings there.
Yeah. We've got some very talented listeners who make beats. I'm sure one of them will do it.
I was going to say get DJ Briggs.
Yeah.
He's the Bombers man.
Yeah. What's Briggs up to? Okay. This is the Windy Hill Whisperer.
The Windy Hill Whisperer is back, and I had to go get a blood test this morning in Melbourne Pathology. And it's really important to check up on your mental health and your physical health. And I was in line, I was waiting, and I was thinking, who else needs to get a blood test? And I think Jaden Ewan needs to get a blood test, because I need to see if he has that dog in him. He 100% has that dog in him. The way he locked down Papley, locked down Stangle. Up the plains.
There we go.
Is he in the cupboard?
Yeah, I don't know where he is.
He's got real Harry Potter vibes.
Shed, maybe? I don't know.
Wherever he is, he's not supposed to be there.
I find most people who listen to this podcast are like blokes hiding in their shed away from their girlfriends or wives.
Any
or family
form of responsibility.
It's just like, I'm just going to go to the shed for the now and just sit here and listen to a podcast. So, yeah.
Fall asleep on the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. This one is I survived Cardinia Park.
Drove down to Cardinia Park on Friday night expecting to hurl myself off level 3 at halftime when we were 137 points down. But instead was pleasantly surprised to see some fight and spirit and some good contests. Archie Roberts, great. McMahon, great. Nguyen, lots of guts. Merritt, always classy. Blackiston did well under very trying circumstances. All in all, can't be mad with that. Lots of future for the team.
What a death wish driving to Cardinia Park.
Well, I was just thinking, I've been away, so I've been out of the loop a little bit. But you were talking about going to that game.
I was talking about that several months ago, and then I made a decision several months ago that I was no longer going to go. I changed my mind, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to save the money.
Yeah, that's a good mental health decision.
Even my parents in the 80s, when they go down to Kidinia, no matter how good Essendon was, you still weren't coming back with a win.
No.
It's dark times.
Dark times in there. Last one. I don't know if this makes any sense. We'll also give it a go. This is hip dysplasia. If it loads, we'll hear it. Maybe it doesn't. Let's refresh the page and we'll try again.
How you doing, James?
Good old internet.
Why do so many of our players play like they've got hip dysplasia? Hip dysplasia, yeah.
I don't know.
It's that time of the year.
It's that time of the year where
it really is.
That's the last one?
I think I have lost my mind. I think I've lost it.
You sent that in, didn't you, Rob?
Yeah, that was me. They're all actually just me doing voices. No one listens to the show. It's just me sending in hot takes. Now you mentioned ChatGPT writing a poem about Liam McMahon. So I've conjured one up. Although I must be honest, I actually use Microsoft Copilot and not ChatGPT to do this. So anyway, there once was a forward named Liam. Defenders, he'd barely go see him. He'd leap like a roo, kick goals out of view, then wink as the fans went to scream him. And it's titled Liam the Lethal, and then it has a couple of beers emojis next to it. So there you go. There's a poem for you all.
Good effort from Skynet.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. Please don't kill me when you take over the world, Microsoft Copilot.
That's why you have to say thank you after Siri does something.
Thank you. I'm just going to say thank you. Please don't kill me.
Please say. What does it say?
Please
Yeah, what's the response back?
You're safe with me, Rob. I'm here to help, not harm. If something's weighing on you, I'm always here to talk it through. Want to shift gears and dive into something fun or distracting? Maybe a new poem, a quirky stat breakdown, or a creative idea. That is all for today.
Maybe a new poem.
Maybe a new poem. Please, Microsoft, give me more poems. More. All right, I've completely lost my mind. Gents, we'll wrap things up. James, final thoughts from you, my friend?
We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. Our favourite time of the year, draft time.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade periods to come, which will be fun. I think the draft period will be fun. So 3 more weeks and then we can be optimistic again. And as long as Collingwood, Carlton, Hawthorn are all shit, then it's fine.
Exactly. Like, I know, like, with the whole Paddy Voss thing, but, like, I mean, flag mantle? Is that what we want? Or
yes.
is it Crows? Is that what we want?
It's Fifey goes out with a flag. Could you imagine that?
Giants, but then there's Stringer. I mean,
if Stringer won a flag,
we know you don't like the Gold Coast. We established that.
We established I don't like the Gold Coast. I guess it's Adelaide, is it? I guess it's the Crom.
Oh, you can't have the Crom win.
I don't know. The memes would be good.
Yeah,
this will be Crom memes.
Well, I mean, the Giants media team would be ballistic if they got into a grand final and 1-1. That would be hilarious. But
the grand final parade will be huge. That'd
quite
be
frankly,
10 people there.
Brizzy.
Yeah, Brizzy again. I'd cop that.
If they can make final.
Yeah, I don't know. I always go by the thing of, like, how many people do I know that support these teams and how much is that going to influence my life? Because the people I know who go for Brisbane are all pretty easygoing people. So it's fine. Collingwood, no way. Hawthorn, no way. Giants, don't know anyone. Gold Coast, don't know anyone. Adelaide, don't know anyone who lives in Melbourne that goes for Adelaide. I know people in Adelaide, so it's not really a big issue.
Bulldogs?
Not really an issue. I think I only know one Doggies supporter.
My rule of thumb is if it's interstate, I don't care.
Yeah.
Just keep it out of Victoria. If we can't win it, just keep it out of Victoria.
Yep. Agreed.
Go Dockers.
Yeah, I guess it's flag mantle. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening, viewing. If you're a sicko and you want to listen to the preview of Friday night's game on the premium feed, we will be there on Thursday night. I don't even know who's on. I haven't checked the roster. Do you guys even know who's on?
I think it's just probably you talking to a mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
You and Copilot.
That's yeah.
More holes.
I'll do a podcast with Microsoft. Hold on, let me ask. Will you do a podcast with me on Thursday night? ? Let's see what they say. I'm going to check the roster while this response comes back. We'll also just do a meeting live on air, boys, but we need to figure out who's doing the last couple of games. because now that the fixture's out for the Carlton and Gold
Not
Coast
all at
game,
once,
yeah.
everyone.
I know you're all. I know you're all eager to preview this game, but yeah, actually no, I've already got it down. James, you're in the preview, and Joel and Ryan will be doing the review of the Blues game, which will be a fun. It's down as a Monday, but I don't know. Maybe Joel and I will do that on the Friday, so you'll be spared.
And that is a Thursday night
It's a
game.
Thursday night
Preview
game.
on the Wednesday, and then Channel 7 and not showing the game.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go to Fox Footy.
Yeah.
And then so Friday for the review. Then the Suns game is the Wednesday.
Far too quickly.
Yeah. So you got that.
We can have our end of season pod on a Thursday, so that'll be interesting.
yes.
Come in on a Thursday and have our end of season pod. We've done a funeral. I don't know what else there is to do.
I mean, I've already dressed as the Grim Reaper. I don't have much left in the kit bag.
Yeah. The Microsoft Copilot does want to do a podcast with me on Thursday night. Although it says it can't be there physically or record audio, they'll help me prep in all kinds of ways.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I would say I don't write fucking scripts for this anyway. It's just like random dot points.
If you did, it'd be very creative.
It would be very creative. Anyway, that's what we might do. Thanks, everyone. We're waffling. We'll see you all next time. Go Dons.